What is going on, guys? It is your Untitled Gamer, Goon, and if you have not already, make sure you go check out the video right before this, which was the preseason awards ceremony, where I broke down exactly who I think will be winning the awards this year and why I believe they will be walking out with them. Now, this video will not be as in-depth as the last one because it is 1 a.m. and I kind of need to get to sleep soon. Um, luckily, Luckily, today I do not have a midterm, but I have had midterms in the past few days. I'm sorry, I got to get my charger out because it's about 25% left on my laptop. So we definitely gotta plug that in, and it happens to be in my backpack. But we're not gonna stop. I really don't feel like cutting because this is where this is where the magic happens, man. This is where the magic happens. It's where the magic happens. Where the fun moments like this that you tune in for, right? Where you don't know what I'm gonna start doing. Shit, one moment I'm talking about basketball, the next moment I could be fucking breakdancing. Who knows? Who knows? That's what makes this fun. There's no script to this shit. I'm just flying out of here, man. Unedited raw footage. But anyways, we have a list to make, right? We got the Eastern Conference, which we're going to start off with. We got to figure out the top 8 teams in the Eastern Conference, who I believe will be those top 8 teams, and who I think won't be. And then obviously same thing for the Western Conference. Now, I don't have a list of what I think going into this, so I'm just gonna raw dog it. We got the Knicks being the first team from preseason. The Bulls up there, Heat up there, Nets up there, Raptors, Pistons, Hawks, Sixers, Celtics, Pacers, Cavs, Magic, Hornets, Bucks, and Wizards, all in that order. Now, preseason stats are not something I really care about because the Bucks are second to last. The Bucks are making the playoffs. The Bucks are going to be more than fine. They're going to be one of those top teams. But will they be the top team? I don't know that yet. Looking at it, I think here's my mindset. The Knicks, they had a good preseason. I feel like they're real contenders. They made it last year. Derrick Rose is there. Emmanuel Quickly's a very good young player for them. Obviously, they got some of the better pieces. They got Nerlens Noel, Mitchell Robinson. They got Julius Randle, all guys that I believe in playing the big man role there. They got Kemba Walker now, so they got better. But did they get as good as being an elite team in the East? Probably not. I expect them to be a very good team, but I don't think they're going to be the elite teams in the East. The Bulls, the Bulls to me, and I'm a Bulls fan, get this right. I'm a Bulls fan. They borderline being one of those good teams in the East to being one of those elite teams in the East, which means more than likely they're going to be about a 4 seed or a 5 seed, somewhere around there. I love it. Zach LaVine's going to have his opportunity to show up and show out. DeMar DeRozan should be an easy 20. Vooch should be an easy 20. P. Will should have a good year. Kobe, when he gets back, should be good. Caruso should be good. I expect Derrick Jones Jr. to have a solid season. Javonte Green looked phenomenal in the preseason. Lonzo Ball was good. I mean, I'm very excited about what this Bulls roster could bring. The question is, will we be able to piece it all together? Troy Brown Jr., he should get some minutes. He had a very solid role on the team last season before he stepped away for a little bit. So I think the Bulls are legit. I think the Knicks and the Bulls, they're not pretenders, they're contenders. The Heat, they got Bam, they got Lowry, they got Butler. They're real. They're a real force to be reckoned with. The Nets, they got the best player, more than likely, in the league, not named Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kevin Durant. They're legit. And then they got James Harden. Might not have Kyrie, but they're legit. They're probably still in that elite tier even without Kyrie. The Raptors, I really don't know about the Raptors, man. Pascal's there. I don't know if Pascal remains there. I love Precious Achiuwa. I love OG Anunoby. I love Scotty Barnes. His game is going to be phenomenal if he gets a chance to flourish. Chris Boucher out of Oregon. Love the guy. They brought in Goran Dragic. They have a lot of players that I like. But does that translate to being one of the top teams? I don't know, man. Really don't know. I don't feel like they have a solidified guy on their team because I don't really feel like Pascal is. Yeah, Pascal has been a number one option. Yeah, he has been an all-star, but I don't feel like he is the guy on his own. I don't feel like he can be a guy on his own to be leading a team. I could be wrong. But I don't feel like I am. I don't believe in the Raptors that much. I don't. The Pistons, they made it in the top 8 in the preseason. Don't expect that to continue. Do not expect that to continue. The Pistons games will be better off this year. They have Cade. They have Sadiq Bey. They have Isaiah Stewart. But they don't got much else. They ain't winning very much games this year. They will be very much cruising at the bottom of the East. I hope the Pistons prove me wrong because that means Cade is probably playing at an MVP level season as a rookie. Or maybe I'm completely wrong and we just get somebody crazy like Sadiq Bey dropping 25 a game. Sadiq Bey I expect to get about maybe 15, 16 a game. But you see Sadiq Bey start dropping 26 a game. Shit, the Pistons might be a legit force. But the Hawks, they're legit. They got Trae Young, they got Bogdan, they got John Collins, they got Clint Capella. They're legit. The Sixers, they're legit. They have Joel Embiid. They might or might not have Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons might end up getting traded. They have Tobias Harris. But I don't really feel like with Ben Simmons, I feel like they're in the elite category. Without Ben Simmons, I feel like they're in the very good category, 4 or 5 seed. Either way, I fully expect the Sixers to make the playoffs. We got Joel Embiid, who I believe is going to be the MVP this season. And if you didn't already watch my video from before, we talked about that. So go watch that video. The Celtics, I very much feel like they're going to be a better team than what they were in the preseason. They did end up off 500, but they ended outside of the playoffs if it were to be in the preseason. Celtics, they got Jaylen Brown. Ran it. I don't know whether or not he's going to be playing, is he? Jaylen Brown is currently day-to-day with COVID. But yeah, Jason Tatum went absolutely nuts last year in the playoffs. Jason Tatum is undoubtedly a top 10 player in the NBA. And if you don't agree with it, then I don't know where you were. Jason Tatum was an absolute bucket last year. And I fully expect Jason Tatum, even if Jason Tatum has to put the team on his back again, this team's making the playoffs. The Pacers, they could be legit. They got Sabonis. They got Brogdon. I love that duo. Duarte's going to come in. I don't think Duarte's going to do really any huge impact, but he's going to be a good defensive hand for him. Pacers should be fine. The Cavs, I don't know what you're doing. You got Lauri Markkanen, you got Kevin Love, you got Jared Allen, you got Evan Mobley. You got so many bigs. And then you look at the point guards, Garland and Sexton. 2 guys I like personally, but I feel like you only have such a high ceiling with both of them. And you're not going to reach that with the weird rotation of big men you got. You got some outside guys, you got some defensive anchors, you got literally every style of big man on that team. So we'll see what happens with the Cavs, man. We'll see what happens with the fucking Cavs. But I don't expect them to be contenders for a playoff spot. The Magic, they're probably going to be in the upper echelon of bad teams. They're probably going to be sitting around like the 10, 11 spot. They might be in a play-in game, but I don't expect them to be legit contenders. The Hornets, I fully expect to be in a play-in game. LaMelo Ball going to have a good year. P.J. Washington, I believe, will have a good year if he's not traded. Miles Bridges, he is playing for a contract. I do not believe they extended him, so he's playing for a contract this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Hornets do. The Bucks, like I said, they are making the playoffs. They're in that top 3 group up there. They're in the elite echelon of teams in the East. They're the defending champions. They got Giannis. They're going to be fine. The Bucks will make it. The Wizards, they're going to be in the upper echelon of teams in kind of the back end of the play-ins. Maybe like a 7th, 8th seed. Maybe a 6th seed. Maybe even a 5th seed. I don't see them making a 4 seed. But they're going to be in somewhere between the 10 and 5 range. It depends. But who do I have number 1? Number 1, I fully expect this year that the Bucks are going to be 1. It's the easiest one. They just have great chemistry together. Yes, they didn't have a great preseason, but they should be 1. Number 2, I got the Brooklyn Nets. It's hard to imagine the Brooklyn Nets not winning with the roster they have. So those are the 2 upper elite teams. 3rd, I expect the 76ers to be up there. 4th, I got the Chicago Bulls up there with DeBalzak, the new trio that they got there. 5, I have being the Atlanta Hawks. I love that roster. I think it's going to be good. Nate McMillan's a phenomenal coach. I love it. The 6th team, I believe, is going to be the Celtics. Like I said, Jason Tatum is one of those guys. The 7th team, I believe, is going to be the Miami Heat. And the 8th team is going to be the New York Knicks. All of which are going to be very competitive. I fully expect the Knicks to, even at the bottom, being 8th, I fully expect them to be a 45 to 50 win team. This is going to be a very good year in the Eastern Conference. I think a lot of teams like the Pacers, the Wizards, they're probably going to be around the 40 win mark, but they might just be the play-ins. I don't really think they're going to be top 8. But like I said, I'm just doing type 8. Then you get to the Western Conference, and I mean, it looks very similar to the Eastern Conference. I mean, in terms of preseason, you got the Warriors. Do they turn back to the Warriors of old? I don't know. Probably not. Then you got the Mavericks, the Kings, the Timberwolves, the Suns, the Spurs, the Grizzlies, Jazz, Thunder, Clippers, Rockets, Pelicans, Nuggets, Blazers, and Lakers. There's no way. There is no way this is right at all. The Warriors, they're probably a playoff team. The Mavericks, they're probably a playoff team. The Kings, listen, I'm a big fan of De'Aaron Fox. I like Tyrese Halliburton right now, but you gotta get De'Aaron Fox off the roster because this roster ain't making it. I don't care if you got Bagley and Rashawn Holmes, who I also like. This roster ain't making it. You just get him out of Sacramento. It's a bad situation. Timberwolves, Ant-Man went crazy last year. You got Cat up there. Cat could potentially be getting traded. D'Angelo Russell, is he going to be playing this season? Who knows? They're probably not a legit team. The Suns, they're legit. They're coming off the finals run. They brought in Landry Shamet. They're gonna be trying to get that. They're gonna try to get that O'Brien trophy. They're gonna be trying. They're gonna be trying to run it back. The Spurs. I put this nicely. I love DeJounte, but I mean, I don't trust the Spurs. Grizzlies, they legit. Jaw's that man. You can't see it because it's literally on the back of the laptop I'm filming, but Jaw is on the back of my laptop. You got a sticker up on there. Jaw one of them guys, man. Jaw one of them guys. The Jazz, they're going to be up there. The Jazz are always one of those teams that they're a phenomenal regular season team. They're going to be a top 3 seed easy. Come to playoffs, they ain't going to make the conference finals. They ain't going to be legit contenders. It sucks. Donovan Mitchell, go have yourself a year. Go have yourself a year. Rudy Gobert, go tell them, you know what, I can be a beast. I might have had a couple of bad games, but I can be a beast. Go tell them. They're going to be legit. Thunder. I expect Thunder to be in the lower half, maybe 7-8 seed. The Shea's there. Lou Dort's there. It's going to be interesting to see how Josh Giddey adds up to their roster. They should be an interesting team. Thunder should be interesting. Clippers, you got to make the playoffs. You got Terrence Mann out there. You got PG-13. You got Reggie Jackson. You got Derek Bledsoe. You got Serge Ibaka. You got a lot of talented players there. Are they elite outside of Paul George? No. If you had Kawhi, I would say you'd be a top 3 seed, probably closer to 3 because it's the Clippers. But they're gonna be like a 5 seed probably. The Rockets. As much as I would love to see just a random team like the Rockets who just happen to have a rookie like Jalen Green, they're not going to. Unless Usman Garuba and Sengun can go out there and go crazy. No. The Rockets aren't going to make it. The Pelicans, maybe. That's all I got to say for you Pelicans. Love the Devontae Graham pickup. I love Devontae Graham's game. One of the better players in the Hornets organization at that point in time. Phenomenal scorer. Going to go out there, probably get you 15, 16 easy. Go out there, get you 6, 7 assists. Not a great defender, but solid. Should be interesting to see what he's able to bring to the Pelicans. But Zion's not playing. At least not for a couple weeks. I don't know what the issue is with Zion, but he won't be playing. The Nuggets, they're legit. They got the fucking reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic. Then they got Michael Porter Jr. And then, I don't know if Jamal Murray's going to be coming back, to be honest. But it don't matter. You got Jokic. You got the point center. The Blazers, you got Damian Lillard. You're fine. You're making the playoffs. And the Lakers, you got Anthony Davis. You're making the playoffs. You don't have... I'm not saying you have LeBron James. You're making the playoffs. LeBron James is not a winning player. He's not. It's Anthony Davis. But what order they didn't necessarily come in? That's where it gets rough. Because there's not a team out on the West that I think is just going to be dominant. Because there's so many good teams out in the West. So I'm going to say the Nuggets get the first seed. The Nuggets, they're going to have Jokic go out there. He'll have another great year. Could potentially win another MVP. Who knows? So you got Jokic at 1. Well, essentially, yeah, Jokic at 1. But you get the Nuggets at 1. I'm going to say the Jazz at 2. The Lakers at 3. Then what I want to do. I'm going to say the Warriors are going to be at 4. I think the Warriors are going to have a comeback here. The Suns at 5. I'm going to say the Blazers at 6. The Grizzlies at 7. And the Mavericks at... No. The Mavericks at 7 and the Grizzlies at 8. And then we have... What other teams we got up in here? Then we're going to have the Pelicans. We're going to have the Pelicans and Thunder be playing in those playing games, competing there towards the back end of the season. But like I said, it's very raw. But kind of gives you a brief look at what I think going into the season. A lot of those teams could probably be interchangeable. Like the Warriors could probably be 8, and maybe the Suns are 3. Maybe they're 2. Maybe they're 1. Who knows? But that's at least what the grouping of the playoffs looks like from my perspective. Now, I might be completely wrong. You guys might have a completely different opinion. If that's so, share it in the comments. Share it in the comments. Say, you know what? You're completely wrong. Obviously, the Pistons are making the playoffs. Hey, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Put me on. Put me on. But I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.